walking tour in Riga. Welcome to another little vlog, guys. Today you're coming with me on an virtual audio guide tour of Old Town here in Riga. Yay.
Look guys, this building.
Because you see, guys, I was so lucky to find a virtual audio guide
Not that way,
on
Mom.
an app called Audio Map.
Riga is a beautiful old town. Teatro è illa. And of course,
And beautiful Arthur's.
beautiful.
And guys, yeah, it's time to start the audio tour. See how beautiful Riga is, guys. You know, Riga was founded in 1201, so more than 800 years ago. And like you can see, there's a lot of wonderful, beautiful churches here in Riga. And for some reason, most of them are made out of bricks. See, one brick church, another brick church. I didn't think they used bricks in the Middle Ages, but apparently they do. There are also a lot of beautiful restaurants here in Riga, guys. Okay, back to the tour. You know, like in Philippines, as it is in Norway, both countries were ruled by foreigners for centuries. And it was the same with Riga and Latvia. They only gained independence after the fall of the Soviet Union in the 80s. But it has to be said that their constitution was created and approved in 1922. But sadly, their independence didn't last long until the Soviet took over. By the way, this is St. Peter's Church, where the audio map tour starts. Welcome to Town Hall Square, guys. In front of us, you see the House of the Blackheads. The Blackheads were a union of unmarried merchants known to history primarily for having a pretty strong claim of inventing the Christmas tree more than 500 years ago, guys. But sadly, guys, most of these buildings and square were destroyed by German bombs during the Second World War. But luckily, all these have been rebuilt later. So guys, welcome to the home street of the Soviet version of Sherlock Holmes. Because guys, apparently the Soviets really loved Sherlock Holmes, but you know, of course they could not watch the British version. So here you have it, guys, the home and office of the Soviet version of Sherlock Holmes. Welcome to Dome Square, guys. You know, this is actually the biggest square in Old Town today. But until 1930s, this plaza were filled with residential buildings. But then, guys, in 1930, Riga were lucky enough to get their very own local dictator that decided that they needed to tear down those residential buildings to make a big square where he, the dictator, could address his adoring subjects. That's why this square was made, guys. Every self-respecting dictator needs a plaza and a balcony where they can address their adoring subjects. And welcome to this very cute small street where they have the most romantic cafe here in Riga. At least that's what the sign says. Ah, guys, the three brothers three old buildings. You see, the one to the right is oldest. And like you saw, it only has big windows on the first floor, and in the upper floors, the windows are really small because they were only for storage. But through history, they started to store food stuff in public places, so they eventually made the upper story living quarters too, and at least the second floor, and then the third one is the newest. And on that time, they didn't store anything at home, not really. They had public, warehouses in Riga to store the food, and then they made all 3 stories living quarters. Guys, and here you have the Parliament of Latvia right next to a church, like you saw. It's a beautiful building, and it kind of looks similar to the Parliament building of Norway.
Ahead of us, guys, you see Noy Street. And the reason for the name is really interesting because, as you see, this is a really narrow street. It's actually the narrowest street in the old town of Riga. And the reason for that is interesting too. On the left side you can see a lot of homes right now. Maybe not homes, at least houses. But before, that was not houses, it was actually the city wall. So when somebody were attacking the city, somebody come down from the wall and made a lot of noise to wake up and tell the people that the city was under attack and that they have to evacuate the buildings.
Oh yeah, up ahead, guys, you have what you called the Swedish Gate. Yeah, there you can see it, guys. Apparently, it's called Swedish Gate because, when the Soviet conquered Riga from the Swedes, the Soviet was not Soviets, I mean the Russians Tsar, he was so impressed by the valor and ability of the Swedish soldiers that he decided to let them live and go home as heroes. And then he named this gate after them. People were kind of bad before, right? But it's a really nice story. Yeah, now we're passing through the old city wall, and out of the city to the new part of the old town city. It's a beautiful day here in Riga. Guys, ahead we will see what is left of the city wall, but it's not true because that is a reconstruction of how the wall used to look like. But it does look quite realistic, right? See? And all the watchtower you see, right? There you see the moat. But there's no water in it now. And again, many bricks. I wonder why they decided to make a town wall out of bricks. Wouldn't solid stone be better? A question to ask a real guide if you are in Riga or research on your own. But it's a quite impressive wall. And Riga is a beautiful town. Yeah. What is kind of fun now that today Riga has a lot of churches, but most of Riga's population is atheists, just like people in Norway. So, and yeah, behind here you can see how one side of the narrow street may have looked in old times, right? Then the street must have looked much scarier, right? I didn't really took time to read that sign, but yeah. Maybe you can stop the vlog and read it yourself. Yeah, guys. Let us continue on. I know we're actually gonna see very soon an original
tower, watchtower from the old city wall. Yes, guys, it's here. Do you see it? And it's an amazing story about that because apparently it stood, empty for many, many years until some German student asked if they can use it as their, what do you call it, clubhouse or something, yeah. And then the town had one requirement: if they want to use it, need to fix it up for their own money. So then they went into the tower and gathered all the bird droppings, the guano that has been left there over the years. And of course, guano is used as fertilizer and it's actually worth a lot. So actually, they use bird droppings to pay for the renovation of the tower. So you can say that the old feather-clad residents actually paid a lot of rent through the years. So actually birds are, and it's also paying rent. It's amazing, right?
The monument you see in front of you guys is the Monument of Freedom, and it is the most important monument in Riga and Latvia. And it was made to remember all the sacrifice the Latvian people went through to gain their independence. But then, when the Soviet took over, they changed the meaning of the monument to fit their own agenda. And that's why this is actually one of a very few pre-Soviet monuments that is still standing today. Thank you so much for watching, guys, and then hopefully I will see you in the next vlog.